Hey friend, Roddy Christofferson here again with another first listen review. Before we get to babbling, as always, I ask to like, share, and subscribe to keep this music alive, because that's kind of what we do around here. I babble about music that I love, what's going on with bands that I've listened to, mostly older bands. This is one that falls in that category, and then we just kind of have a good time talking about it. That's all we do here. Anyway, so if you're into that, appreciate you stopping by. Talking about Armored Saint today and their latest release, which has the unfortunate title of being called Emotion Factory Reset. I don't know what exactly that is, but that is what they chose the title of this album. I just have been into this band actually all the way back to the beginning. Their first album, when it came, actually it was an EP, Armored Saint EP, but I didn't get that one first. The first one I got was March of the Saint. Actually, I take that back. The first album, holy goodness, but I don't edit, so this is why, it's more real than, than most of these other reviews, because I just fudge my way through it. A lot of the time, that's what we're doing today. First one I ever bought was actually Delirious Nomad. I got it like as a cutout or something, because I know it was a cutout because it got the big cutout in it, but I don't remember where. And I got it, and I thought, well, this is interesting. It's a weird album. It's kind of like heavy, like the first one, but it's almost like they're trying to be mainstream at the same time. I don't know, it's kind of interesting, but I'll get to why that makes a little sense here in a little bit. But then I went back and got March of the Saint, and of course Raising Fear, and my favorite one of that whole first few was Symbol of Salvation, but March of the Saint and Symbol of Salvation are probably my favorite ones out of that bunch. But was really into Armored Saint, and I remember when John Bush was going to join Anthrax, I was kind of bummed that Armored Saint was going to be around, but I was also, intrigued to hear what that would sound like. He would sound like with Anthrax. I personally thought that was a pretty good fit. I liked the years with Anthrax that he had, but I was also happy to see that they kept going and got back together again with mainly most of the same guys. There's a couple people that changed early on, but for the most part, it's been the same guys, 5 guys since around 90 or so. We got John Bush, like I already mentioned, on vocals, Gonzo Sandoval on drums, Phil Sandoval on guitar. One of my favorite bass players from this whole genre is Joey Vera, and Jeff Duncan on guitar as well. There was a couple people here and there early on, and they had another guy on drums who filled in late 80s, early 90s, somewhere in there. I don't remember his name, but anyway, it's been people came and go. For the most part, it's been the same guys, which is hard to come by nowadays. But as far as the albums go with them, anything since they started making releases again, they went about 10 years or so without doing much, but they've done a lot of releases. They've come out with a lot more than I remembered. It's been kind of hit or miss. There's been a few that have been really, really, really good, actually. Like Wind, hands down, I liked. The last one, studio album that came out with Punching the Sky, I thought was great. Nod to the Old School was pretty decent. There's a one in there called La Raza, which was a little bit odd. And kind of the funny thing is, when I first put this one on, Emotion Factory Reset, I was like, there wasn't a whole lot coming out this week, so this was like my main focus was this. I actually got it early, listened to it. I'm not even doing this review until like Sunday, because I've had my few days to listen to this, but I started listening to this one back on Thursday. And man, that first song kicks in, Close to the Bone, which I guess was released as a single too, but I didn't check it out ahead of time. Try not to do that most of the time, because sometimes it just ruins the listening experience, because a lot of these singles are not representative of the album as a whole. And this one, actually, funnily enough, is not really representative of the album as a whole. It kicks in exactly what you want. It's a badass tune. I'm not gonna lie, it just kicks in, rocks. It sounds a lot like it could have fit off their last album. It's kind of reminiscent of the earlier stuff that I mentioned. But then it quickly shifts gears. John Bush sounds great. He just has a cool voice. The songs themselves kind of they're all over the place on this album. I don't know. It's like there's just it's up and down. It's like a roller coaster ride for sure. And when I mentioned myself La Raza, that a lot of these albums feel like they were off in that same vein. It's like they switched gears from the last album. They're like, we're trying to, like, this album, I don't know how to say it without being like mean about it, but I like the album. I didn't like hate it, but it's not my favorite way of Armored Saint being Armored Saint. It's like they were going for more of just a hard rock feel on this one, I feel, instead of their early metal sound. I love that early metal sound they had. I know bands change and they progress, and they've tried a few different things, but the funny thing is, like, that album I mentioned a couple times already, I don't think it was one of their more popular albums, so why they're trying to revisit that sound just seems a little bit odd to me. Maybe they wanted to, I would have thought maybe they would have wanted to try something a little bit new in a different vein, but I feel like they just kind of went back and they're just trying to make like even more of that style album, just more just straight ahead hard rock instead of exploring new territory. It just seemed like safe to me, this album, a lot of it. There are some good songs on here, don't get me wrong, but they're like all over the place. They're like, you get that first hit of like Armored Saint, and then there's a couple songs of like, what's going on, and then you get another like, oh, here's another cool one, and then same thing. That's what I mean, like a roller coaster ride, because a couple other good songs on here. Hit a Moonshot, I think, is great. It has that good early 80s feel. The last song, Epilogue, has that more older feel to me, the more rowdy feel to it. Buckshot has it's kind of a straight ahead. It almost feels like a little bit in the grunge area, but it definitely has the energy of the earlier stuff. So, I mean, that's what I like. I like that stuff. The rest of it just feels safe. There's like Every Man, Any Man, which is probably my least favorite song on here. It just sounded like they were trying to be like catchy, and it, like, not in a good way. It is kind of catchy, but I didn't like the hook in this one. But I couldn't. It's weird. I couldn't get it out of my head. But the more I listened to it, it still didn't like. Sometimes that happens when you listen to a song, you don't like it at first, and then it kind of grows on you. Unfortunately, this one didn't really grow on me. I still don't really care for it that much. Not on Your Life, just kind of not very memorable. Just kind of left me like whatever. Then you got Compromise and It's a Buzzkill, which, oh my gosh, I don't know. It's a Buzzkill is just, and it ranks in there with Every Man, Any Man. This is probably my least favorite on here. Just feels like they didn't really go for it on this one. It just feels like they just, whatever songs they had, this is what they did, and they just went with it. But like half of it's really good, and the other half is kind of like, eh. Like, I mean, I would say Every Man, Any Man, and Buzzkill are kind of like, I probably will skip those if I was going to listen to them again. Other than that, the rest of the album's nothing bad. Half of it's really good. The rest of those songs, like of it, are just kind of like safe. So I don't know. It's the way it left me feeling. I don't know. It's like the singing on it. John just brings life to any song. He just has a cool voice, and he just got a little bit of attitude. And the fact that it's just like a real singer singing, I love that. And of course, Joey Vera plays great bass lines. I really like his style. And of course, guitar playing is always top notch, and drumming as well. But as far as the actual riffs and the songs go, I just felt just a little lacking in the songwriting department here. The playing's always top notch. I can't complain anything about the artists and their ability to play. Production was great. Hard edge production, just with very safe sounding songs for the most part, except for maybe like 4 or 5 were like really Armored Saint sounding songs. So if you're into an EP's worth of really cool Armored Saint songs, and then the rest are kind of like filler, then this is an album for you. That's just my quick take on it. I know there's probably gonna be a lot of people that disagree with me on that one, but I'm kind of like, my preference in Armored Saint is, the early stuff. I know they've tried some other stuff later on. Like I said, that's not that style, and it wasn't my favorite. I like it when they stick to what they do, and they do that very, very well. So that's my quick take. So I'm hesitating to say bad things. I hate talking bad about bands I love, but sometimes it just is what it is. Our opinions are what our opinions are. Our tastes are what our tastes are. So please don't take too much offense if you don't agree. Just tell me what you think and what you do like about the songs. And if it's something you disagree with, feel free to say what it is you like about it. Not just, we don't do name calling on here. We don't call each other's opinions stupid or anything like that. And when I do see that type of stuff, I usually get rid of those. So we try to keep it at least pleasant. I don't know. This is for fun. It's not for anything. I don't do this for clicks or money, because I sure am not making any money off it. I do it for fun, the enjoyment of talking about music. So hopefully you can steer clear of all the other bad stuff and stick with the fun stuff. And until Armor Saint decides to do something else, probably going to go back and listen to some early stuff, because that's usually what I do after I listen to a new album. I go back and I pick out the stuff that it reminds me of or that I want to hear, and I go but listen to that. And that's probably what I'm going to do with this. Pick out a couple early Armor Saint albums I haven't listened to in a while. And we'll get back to you here next week. Until then, we'll see you.